We are live now.
Welcome everyone just joining us to the Binance Africa Hackathon Decentralized Africa opening ceremony. So we have an absolutely amazing lineup of speakers for you today, and some amazing projects, workshops, and a hackathon that will be occurring across Africa over the next 4 weeks. So welcome everyone. And I'd just like to say hello to my co-host as well, Wilson from Bundle. Wilson, are you as excited as I am for the next 4 weeks?
Yeah, I am very excited. Everyone, you're very much welcome to this hackathon. It promises to be very exciting over the next 4 weeks with so much prizes to be won. Thank you very much for joining us today.
Absolutely. So thank you, Wilson. So for those of you who didn't catch that, I am Brenton Nika. I'm part of the business development team for Binance Africa. And my colleague with me, as you can see above us, is from Bundle. So Wilson, why don't you introduce yourself?
All right, everyone. My name is Wilson. I'm from Bundle. I work in the community management and Bundle is a co-sponsor for this event.
Brilliant. So this entire hackathon is brought to you by Binance and Bundle, two of the biggest names in fintech across Africa. But we do also have to give a special mention to some of our sponsors. So you'll see a lot of them throughout the next 4 weeks. So this event, this entire hackathon is brought to you by Binance and Bundle. But thank you to some of our key sponsors, which include Mobox, Refinable, obviously Bundle, Quidax, Fortube, and OneEdge. So I know those are names of projects that a lot of you will be familiar with. And interestingly enough, we have some amazing things with these projects over the next 4 weeks. But before we get into the nitty-gritties of what's going to be happening, how the hackathon works, the first thing we have is the official opening ceremony address from the director of Binance Africa, Emmanuel Babalola.
Hey, thanks, Brenton. Wilson, hi, thank you.
Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. It's great that we're finally here. I think over the last 6 months, we have worked to support more and more developers and projects across Africa, starting from the BSC tour we had in January and the 8 weeks masterclass we had in February that lasted till for the following 8 weeks. And that gave birth to a lot of developers and a lot of action happening across Africa. And we are proud to say that now we are here with the first Binance Smart Chain Hackathon for Africa. It's tagged Decentralized Africa because I think our hope is to really create more and more interest in dev talent, and also to help more and more people of our people in Africa to continue to explore and learn and utilize decentralized finance applications, because we understand that it directly impacts like the entire well-being of the African people. So as we talk to more and more people to get involved in DeFi, at the same time during this hackathon we'll be directly engaging with developers, as we'll be hearing shortly about all the prizes that are available to be won and how to apply for them. So the core is to reach out to people and get people more involved, and then also to help encourage more developers on the continent to build solutions that people would use, solutions that would directly impact the common man. And this is the reason why we are doing this, to help create more interest across Africa, so that more people will have access to financial freedom, more people will have access to crypto, more people will have access to all the use cases that crypto brings to Africa. As I like to say that, blockchain has one of the biggest use cases in Africa, and we're going to see that play out in this hackathon. And I'm hoping to see a lot of awesome projects come out, and I'm also hoping to see a lot more activity happen within the next few weeks in Africa. And from there, we hope that the rest of the year we'll see a lot more action going on across Binance Smart Chain community within Africa. Thank you very much, Wilson, thank you very much, Brenton, from Binance and Bundle, who are the main co-hosts, the main host of this event, and also all the other sponsors that have made this happen. Thank you very much, and welcome once again, everyone.
Wow, some very inspiring words from our director at Binance Africa. And as you've heard, this is only one of a series of events that Binance has really done to empower the African continent with everything that is blockchain, crypto, and DeFi. So Wilson, I hope you were as inspired as I was.
Yeah, I am. I like the fact that we're giving an opportunity for Africans to develop Africa through blockchain. Yeah.
So, obviously Binance and Bundle being so closely affiliated, I know that Bundle is very, very interested in the use cases that DeFi has to, the common retail users, and being able to empower them to live a better and more free financial life. One of the tools, exactly, and one of the tools that I know you guys have been interested in was, you've asked us quite a few questions about Binance Smart Chain, isn't that correct?
Yeah, very correct.
So, I think, it's clear to everybody just how powerful DeFi is in empowering people who don't have access to financial systems. And particularly, like Bob said, here in Africa, that is more true than anywhere else in the world. But
yes.
I think Binance Smart Chain is very much aligned with that vision. Don't you agree, Wilson?
Yeah, I agree. I believe strongly that Binance Smart Chain and blockchain technology would have more use cases here in Africa than in any other part of the world, because we have so many technological problems here, and the Binance Smart Chain using the blockchain basically would help solve a large portion of that problem.
Absolutely agree. And to tell us a little bit more about the vision and the mission of Binance Smart Chain, we're actually very, very privileged today to have somebody very senior from the Binance Smart Chain team with us. So we know him affectionately as Sammy, and he will be joining us today to tell us a bit about what the vision and mission of Binance Smart Chain is, so that all of you developers and users out there can really start to understand the vision of BSC to change the world. So, Sammy?
Hey, Brenton. How's it going?
Welcome.
Hey, Wilson. Thanks for inviting me here. Great to be with you guys. I wanted to take this opportunity to share some updates about what's happening in the BSC ecosystem, as well as some background on what's been happening over the last 9 months since the launch of BSC. So I'm also just going to share a couple of slides. So BSC was launched on 1st of September. Let's switch over here. So BSC was launched 1st of September. I hope you guys can see my screen. Just mention in the chat if you can. In last year in September 2020. So it's been about 9 months now. So a couple of important information to share regarding the architecture and design of Binance Smart Chain. So I think one of the main things, or the most important aspects, is that BSC is Ethereum virtual machine compatible. So what that means is that for developers that are familiar with Solidity and developer tooling in the Ethereum ecosystem can very easily build on Binance Smart Chain. There are, however, a couple of key differences when you compare BSC to the Ethereum mainnet. So one is that BSC is using a different consensus mechanism. So it uses a consensus mechanism called proof of stake authority. So it's a variation of delegated proof of stake. So essentially means that it's producing blocks every 3 seconds instead of every roughly 13 seconds compared to the Ethereum mainnet. And the biggest differentiator, I think, is the transaction fees. So the transaction fees currently are approximately 50 cents, so significantly cheaper than transaction fees on the Ethereum mainnet. So the other important points to mention is that for staking, the delegations as well as the transaction fees on BSC are denominated in BNB. So today we've reached a certain stage where the recent all-time high of active addresses was around 1.2 million active addresses, daily active addresses. So this is around 2.6x the number of daily active addresses compared to the ETH mainnet. And the transaction volumes recent all-time high was about 11.8 million, which is about 7x the daily transaction volume that was happening on the ETH mainnet on the same day. Which really just shows that there's a very, very large number of users on BSC dApps, and also shows that there has been a very large demand that was being essentially priced out from the DeFi protocols on Ethereum mainnet due to high transaction fees. Today, there's over 600 apps deployed on the BSC mainnet, and our communities on Telegram and Twitter are growing very significantly. So it really shows a number of things here. One is that BSC is a public permissionless infrastructure, so it means that developers anywhere can deploy their applications on smart contracts without having to go through any kind of approval process or anything like that. The other important point to mention here is that because it's a very low cost, low fee infrastructure, it's also a really great infrastructure for developers to experiment and test market demand for. I think that's really represented by a couple of slides that I'm going to run through here as well. So here it's demonstrating the landscape currently for projects. In this particular slide, you see some of the many DeFi protocols. So these are different exchanges and other types of liquidity and trading venues on BSC today. You also have a number of other DeFi Lego blocks, stablecoins, algo stablecoins, as well as lending protocols, launchpads, derivatives, as well as increasing number of cross-chain infrastructures, including bridges, which is really demonstrating this multi-chain future. So of course, DeFi has grown significantly and is measured by a number of different metrics, including total value locked of the DeFi protocols. You can see has grown super fast in the last 2 quarters, the last 6 months of this year. But it's not only the DeFi landscape that's been growing significantly. We've also seen a lot of developer tooling being deployed that makes it easier for developers to build on the BSC ecosystem. And then also more recently, we've seen a very large and growing NFT ecosystem with NFT marketplaces and various types of tooling for NFT projects. So a couple of points I also wanted to mention. So while DeFi and NFT are probably like the most visible right now, I do think BSC is a really great general purpose infrastructure. So that means it's useful for a large number of different types of use cases, not necessarily just DeFi or NFTs, but use cases around payments, potentially microfinancing, could be use cases around social impact. So it's really a diverse range of use cases. So I think from that perspective, it offers, like, for the first time, a really unique proposition, which is a really low cost infrastructure that's 100% EVM compatible, so developers can access all of the tooling available in the Ethereum ecosystem. And most importantly, you have a large captive audience there. Like, there's a large number of users that are super engaged. So it's kind of this very unique infrastructure for developers to experiment and build at scale use cases on. So here's some quick updates from the BSC ecosystem. We welcome developers everywhere in the world, especially in Africa. We've been running a number of activities and look forward to continuing these over the coming weeks and months and years for sure. So welcome all of the developers in the African communities to join our online communities on Telegram. We have a number of vibrant developer communities on Telegram and Discord. We'll share the links here as well. Welcome to join there and access all of the different types of support and community support, especially to come and build on BSC.
All right.
Thanks a lot, guys.
Thank you very much, Sammy. That was pretty interesting. It's amazing to see how much BSC has grown over the last couple of months already. A few months ago when I checked it out, it was not this big, and now it's so much. So it's interesting. And then for developers in Africa, this is actually an opportunity for you to also get your project on the Binance Smart Chain as well. It's an opportunity for you to get your project on the Binance Smart Chain. Just like Jeff has mentioned, over the last 9 months, the BSC ecosystem have grown so much that in terms of unique addresses and number of transactions has exceeded that of Ethereum. And then one of the beautiful thing about it is the fact that for you developers, if you're familiar with Ethereum blockchain, if you're familiar with Solidity, you will also be able to build on the BSC ecosystem as well. And to take us further, we'll be welcoming my co-host again, Brenton, who will explain to us how the workshop will be held over the next couple of weeks, over the next 4 weeks. So Brenton, over to you now.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Wilson. And thank you so much for that, Sammy. Like you said, it just, we know all these things, but it's just mind-boggling every time we hear about the growth of the Binance Smart Chain ecosystem. I mean, and to think that BSC is only about 9 months old is just, again, unbelievable. So for those of you that will be participating in the hackathon, you'll get we'll talk about the project briefs and how you actually participate. But there is so much over the next 4 weeks for everybody. So since, our director of Binance Africa, Emmanuel Babalola, has officially kicked off this 20-day hackathon, I'm going to let you know now that over the next 4 weeks, starting from June 7th, we are going to have public workshops that you can join every single day. So from the 7th of June, or over the first week, we have workshops that will be run directly by representatives from the Auto Farm project, from Zend Finance, from Bakery Swap, and they'll be telling us about NFTs on Bakery Swap. We have a workshop with Bondly, and we actually have a workshop with Binance NFTs. So an introduction to the Binance NFT platform and Binance NFTs. Then over week 2, we've got Twinchi, we have Chemix, we have Project Hydro, and we cap off week 2 with a session from the Binance Mergers and Acquisition team. So if you ever wondered, how do you raise funding for your project, or how do you take your project to the next step? We have the experts from the Binance M&A team to answer those questions for you. Then over week 3, we have some workshops you do not want to miss that are actually held by our sponsors for the Binance Africa Hackathon. So we have a workshop with Quidax, we have a workshop with Mobox, we have a workshop with the very well-known Refinable, we have a workshop on Fortune security systems, and 1inch is going to tell us a little bit about the 1inch swap API on Binance Smart Chain, which might actually help some of you in developing your projects. And then to cap off that amazing 20-day program, we have our co-host with us, Bundle, who will be doing a workshop on the Bundle project, as well as a workshop with Math Wallet. So I know that a lot of you are probably exceptionally excited, but if you don't want to miss a single workshop or any of the amazing giveaways that are going to be held at those workshops, make sure that you join the official Binance Africa Hackathon Telegram channel. So if you check the chat now, that link will be dropped in the next minute or so, and that way you can make sure that you don't miss a single one of those workshops or a single one of those giveaways. And those are some really big projects. So no spoilers, but I see Wilson. I think we might have to enter and see if we can get into a few of those giveaways.
Yeah. Sure. So we'll drop the link for you to join African the Hackathon, the dedicated Telegram group. So you could actually click on that link to join, just in case you've not joined the link at this time. Yeah.
Exactly. So make sure you join that group so you never miss out. But so I said for you, maybe not participating in the hackathon, but for those of you who are in it to win it, for those of you who are here to tell me, how do I enter my project? I have something that is going to change the world. We actually have our facilitators here with us who are going to be running the actual hackathon. And we have Steve from the Dora Hacks team, who is going to tell you exactly how you get your project involved and exactly how the funding is going to work for this Africa Hackathon. So over to you, Steve.
Hey guys. Yeah, very happy to be here today to join you guys for the Binance Africa Decentralized Africa Hackathon. And this is Steve from DoraHacks. We are a global hacker community and blockchain developer incentivized platform. We really want to work with Binance and the whole crew behind this hackathon for you to have a great experience participating in this hackathon, win some prizes, and go global, present your projects to global investors and audience. So today, what I'm going to briefly introduce, is how you can participate in this hackathon on HackerLink platform that we offer, where you can submit your projects and present your project to the crowd if you're a developer. And if you are a voter for those amazing BSC ecosystem projects, how you can vote for them. And maybe in the future, after you vote for them, as their early supporters, you will gain reward from the project themselves when they grow to a more mature stage. So what I'm going to do right now is that I will share my screen to present HackerLink to you. Yeah, can you guys see it? Yeah, guys, can you see this page?
Yeah, perfect.
Yeah.
Awesome. So if you go to hackerlink.io/en/grant, you'll be able to find the hackathon page on this platform. And if you click apply grant, you'll be able to submit the project here. And if you click into grant details, you will find the leaderboard of all the participating projects here later, because the hackathon is officially kicking off today. So we haven't had any projects submitting yet, but you can find all the rules about this grant. For example, like when is the start, when is the end of submission, who are the sponsors, and the details of this grant that is introduced bilingual, as you can see, in English and in French here. And we can see there will be 2 prize pools for this grant. In total, is $30,000 for the whole grant, for the whole hackathon's prize pool. 10,000 of which will be the quadratic funding pool, distributed by how the community votes for the different projects, and 20,000 of which will be decided by the judge. So the judges will pick the teams that they find really interesting and creative, with solid tech backgrounds and great community growth plans. They will vote for the teams in the judge pool. So this will be the platform where you submit your projects to this hackathon, and this will also be the platform for voting. So how to submit to the platform is pretty easy. So if you just click, so how we call those projects submitting themselves on HackerLink is called a budo. So if you submit a project to the platform, you should create a budo here. So you can click submit my budo and fill in all the information about your project, including a 1-sentence introduction, your vision, your budo's description. If you have, some UI designed, you can submit your logo or your presentation also here, and some of your team information on the platform. Essentially, this is a page where you can introduce your project and constantly update your progress and milestones, because it's updatable. You can submit your GitHub address, your demo link, so that the judges and the voters can have a deeper understanding of your project, whether you're open source or what problem are you tackling, etc., etc. And after you submit all the information, you can click the Submit for Review button here, and we will internally review your project, whether it's authentic, and then you will find your project on the Budo wall here, that you can find your projects here. And after you submitted your Budo, you can click the BSC Africa tab and click Apply Grant here. And select this round, Apply Grant with your existing submitted Budo, and click Submit. And then you can find your Budo on the BSC Africa grant detail page so that everyone can see you here. So this will be the manual or the procedure of how to submit your project here. Take another grant, for example, is that we just finished our BSC Grant Round 1 global grant in March, and this will be how the page will look like after this. So for the BSC grant that we already hosted, there were 108 projects submitted, and we were using BNB as donation currency. But in our hackathon, we'll be using BUSD for voting. And you can see how community voted nearly 3,000 BNBs, while Binance and Binance sponsors provided 200 BNBs. So the community are actually who are supporting more to the projects. So that's why we want you to be part of the BSC ecosystems. Even if wherever you are in Africa, however you want to participate in the BSC ecosystem growth, you can always do that, even by just submitting 0.1 or 0.01 BUSD to the amazing projects of the BSC ecosystem. You can do it. And how the voting works is actually also pretty simple. I'll briefly walk through this as well. Let's take the Falcon Grant, for example. So after all the projects have submitted to the platform, you can see all of their projects at the grant detail page. And very simple, just click on vote here, and how many you want to vote for this project. So first you need to connect your wallet, and I'm using MetaMask now. Yeah. And it takes a while for the confirmation of the approval of the wallet. And you can just type in how many you want to vote here. So for the Falcon Grant, right now we are using 1 USDC as the minimum vote for the projects. And if you click, you want to submit 1 vote, the payment you can see here is 1 USDC. And for the Binance Africa Hackathon, the payment will be 0.01 BUSD for 1 vote. And we are using the quadratic voting, quadratic funding scheme here. So how quadratic funding works is written here. So basically, the cost of each vote goes up in a linear curve as you want to cast more vote to one specific project. So if you want to vote 2 votes for the project, for instance, the first vote will be 1 USDC, and the second vote will be 2 USDC, and the third 3 USDC. So the cost of voting for each specific project goes up linearly. So let's just type, let's say we want to vote 2 votes. So you can see the total cost of your payment goes up to 3 USDC because the second vote is 2 USDC. And the third will be 3 USDC. So if you want to vote 3 votes, it will be 6 in total, which is 1 plus 2 plus 3. So why we're using quadratic funding and quadratic voting is that we want to prevent those who have great wealth, who have great power, as in financially, to attack our vote. Let's imagine there are really great projects that are hugely loved by the whole community, and everyone vote several dollars to it. And there's another project who are actually very glitchy, let's just say, but have a huge a venture or institution backing them, and they can vote a lot of money to this one project. So let's just say if we are using the traditional $1 one vote scheme, that actually this whole voting system can be attacked by someone who is really wealthy and really want to support this project, even if they are not widely accepted by either the BSC official, the partners, or the community themselves. So how quadratic funding works is that if they want to vote a lot of votes to one specific project, each account have to donate tons of money. Like the cost of voting for that project goes up in a quadratic way, that the cost is like hugely goes up. So that's how we want to prevent the wealthy projects attacking this vote system, and like create a lot of unfair situations in the hackathon. So in our past events, quadratic funding works great. Whoever engages more with the community, widely loved and accepted by the community, can get most votes. And if they get more votes from the community, they can get more shares in the quadratic funding subsidized matching pool, which in our case is $10,000 BUSD, I would say. The quadratic voting results will result in how the QF subsidized matching pool are distributed to different participating projects. And in our past experience, everyone can get something out of it. You can get a portion of community voting and donation from the big BNB community, which is a huge global community, because DoraHack's HackerLink platform is a global platform. And I believe like Binance will also promote this event globally. So you have a chance to shine. You have a chance to present your project to global community members and global investors. So it will be a great way to showcase your project and get donation from the global community, not only the developer community, but also the Binance community globally. So that will be a portion of your proceeds of the donation that you can get. And also you can get a portion of the subsidized matching pool, which already exists here. And you can get a portion of the judge pool if they really like your project as well. So this is how the grant works. We will constantly support this grant in this hackathon. And if you have any question submitting the projects or voting, feel free to join our hackathon channel on Telegram and on other places, and we'll be there to answer all of your doubts and questions. So a little bit more in intro about DoraHacks and HackerLink is that we are, like I mentioned at earlier of this workshop, is that we are a global hacker community and a global hackathon organizer and a global blockchain developer incentive platform. So not only that we support BSC a lot for the online quadratic voting grants, we're also hosting global hackathons in the States, in China, in a lot of places together with Binance. We're so happy to have Binance as our close partners all over the way, and we are very happy to use our infrastructure to support Binance hackathons and Binance grants using HackerLink. So this is not a one-time thing. We are so happy to have you joining this hackathon and winning all the prizes in June, but also in the future, you can find a lot of interesting events for Binance, for BSC on this platform, where you can constantly update your project, win grants and win investments, and get more incentive for the growth of your project until you grow up. And that's where we are happy that we helped you all along the way, from a hackathon project to a mature project, established project that can have global users. So stay tuned for DoraHacks. You can find us on Twitter, on Telegram, on a lot of channels where you can find us. Feel free to ask us questions on how we can support you in this event and in the future. We're very glad to help. We'll also help you promote your project to the global developer community if you're interested. We have a very strong audience all over the world. So that's pretty much it. Thanks for having me, and good luck to everyone participating in this hackathon. And we hope to see amazing projects emerging from it.
Wow, thank you so much, Steve. And thank you so much to DoraHacks. I mean, as you've seen, this isn't a brand new partnership. We've run some amazing initiatives in the past, and this will be the first of many for Africa. So as you guys seen, we've really, or not us, but DoraHacks have really engineered it such that it's really all about the project and your engagement with the community, right? There's no way to sort of gamify the system. And this is just one of the use cases of blockchain at play right there in front of you. But I know a lot of you are really excited about the prizes. Now that that's been mentioned, everything else is probably clouded in your mind. So yes, we have $30,000 up for grabs. $10,000 will be allocated through the quadratic funding. But to chat about the other $20,000 and some of the other prizes, we have Jeff with us from the Binance Smart Chain team. Welcome, Jeff.
Hello, guys. Nice to see you. Nice to see African developers again. We went through the 8-week masterclass and the demo show. Yeah, right now it's hackathons. So Steve has mentioned some of the prize pots. So for this hackathon, the total prize pool right now is 30K US dollars. And the first part will come from the quadratic funding mentioned by Steve. It's powered by the HackerLink website. The initial pool will be 10K, and there will be more from the community donations. For our previous experience, there are usually like 5 times than our initial pool. So hopefully there will be 50K for the quadratic funding part. And the second funding source is the judge pick. And the judge pick, there will be different category. The first category will be Africa Hero, sponsored by Bundle Team, to encourage projects that help the Africa infrastructure, Africa economy. And the second category will be DeFi category. There will be 2 projects, each can win $2,500. And the next category will be NFT and gaming. There will be two teams to win as well. And the last category will be wallet category, and this category for $2,500. And the next part is about the open prize, and open prize is come from the BSC projects. So some projects, they will post their scopes for the African developers for challenges. And once the African developers complete these challenges, the set prize will be given to the developers. Yeah, that's it.
Brilliant. So thank you so much for that, Jeff. I know it's a lot more clear now, but remember, all you have to do is check out that HackerLinks page. So the link will be shared and has been shared. Join the Binance Africa Hackathon Telegram group. That link has also been shared. And there's so many different ways for you to win, right? You don't just have to be number one. There's so many different categories, so many different sub-challenges. So we really urge you to get involved. You can see those links are on screen at the moment. And we know that this is obviously new to a lot of us, and it's really exciting. And we want to make sure that you have all of the information that you need. So for the next part of today's opening ceremony, some of the speakers you've seen, including Steve from DoraHacks, for example, will be available to answer any questions from the community regarding some of the things we've just spoken about. So I think our colleague Emmanuel will just be monitoring those questions from the community and letting us know what they are.
Okay, guys, so if you have your questions, you could actually send in your questions. So the speakers are able to answer all of your questions.
So wherever you're watching from, just drop it in the chat box, etc., and we'll pick it up.
Okay.
Okay, how can we manage teams?
We have one question here that is coming from IT. Is asking, how can we manage the teams for the project? How can we manage the teams for the project? Vincent, do you have that?
No, I
think
Jeff will be accustomed to the team management with the demo show we had.
Okay,
Maybe
Jeff.
you can speak to them.
Okay, Jeff. Yeah. So the
Um,
first question is, how can you manage the teams for the project?
yeah, not sure he joined the demo day before. So for this, I think we have recorded a video before. Is told by the ELA functionality. We will share their experience about how to manage the team inside the TG group. So just follow the TG group. And if like the developers thinks there's some demand for this, we can invite some more outside speakers.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Jeff. So IT, make sure you join the group and we'll share a guide that will actually, or video, that will explain how you manage those teams, specifically on Telegram, etc. So definitely. So the next question from Pascal is, we have only 5 countries listed during the event subscription. What about the other countries in Africa? So I think we'll probably pass this through to Emmanuel Babalola, our director of Binance Africa. Babs, do you want to shed some light on that?
Yeah, the hackathon is actually open to all countries in Africa. So if you're a developer, you're an African developer, once you file in for the hackathon, you qualify. There is no restriction in terms of country to participate in the hackathon. So if there was, I think the event subscription is for this opening ceremony. I think there was the need to just put other countries, just specify your country you're joining from, just so that we have an idea of where the most people join this particular opening ceremony for. For the hackathon, every developer in Africa is even African developers outside Africa are also allowed to participate.
That is exceptional news. Exceptional news, Babs. Great. So I hope that answers that, Pascal. Emmanuel, feel free to keep them running. What can we help you with next, guests?
Okay, so it's also important that we mention that the teams don't have to be too many people. It can just be a team of 3 or 2 persons. So it's not mandatory you have a very large group to qualify for your team to stand out. Okay, the next question here, this user is asking, if you have a project that is not in a category, do you still win a prize? Jeff, can you please comment on that? So if someone has a project that's not listed in any of the categories, is it still possible for that person to win a prize?
Yeah, so for this hackathon, as I mentioned, there are 3 parts. So for the quadratic funding on HackerLink, it's not limited to DeFi, NFT, or wallet categories. You can build some other things, and if you get voted by the community, you will get the prize allocated.
Thank you very much, Jeff, for that. Gibson, I hope that answers your question. So like Jeff has mentioned, there is the community funding which you could actually take a part of. Okay, the next one is coming from Supreme Watch. Are you always supporting Binance-based projects only? Who got this one now? Babs, do you have an answer for this?
I think I can get this. I think I can get this one. So this is the BAC Africa hackathon. So projects need to deploy on BAC to get the prize.
Correct. So to reiterate, you will have to, your project will need to be deployed on the Binance Smart Chain in order for you to qualify to participate. I mean, this is the Binance Smart Chain Africa Hackathon. But like our speaker said earlier, BSC is EVM compatible. So if you have an Ethereum project, just come drop it on the Binance Smart Chain. So Supreme Watch, unfortunately or fortunately, it will have to be BSC native. How can we be a part of the project? So I think I've got this one. So Hapsman, it's either that you form a team and conceptualize a project and enter, or you can join one of the existing teams. So maybe if you're looking for a team to hop onto, what you do is make sure you join that Telegram group, and then just reach out there. Maybe certain teams will be looking for developers or participants, etc. But there's no sort of set teams that we create. It's you create your own team and submit, or you join another team. And remember, also, I just want to reiterate, the workshops throughout the week, so our amazing daily workshops, are not limited to projects that have entered the hackathon. So anybody, any individual, you don't need to be a part of a team, etc., can partake and participate in those workshops.
Thank you very much. So the next one is coming from Adekola. Is asking, how do I gain? What do I gain for committing my coin? That's BNB for the donation to a particular project. What do they stand to gain? Probably as community members. Okay.
I think maybe Bubs or Steve can maybe handle this, or Jeff as well. So I don't think there's any guaranteed sort of a quid pro quo, so to speak. But maybe I stand to be corrected.
I can answer, or Steve want to answer?
Yeah, I think go ahead, Jeff. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, Steve is here. Yeah.
Yeah, I can better understand answer this one. So first, we need to understand that every donation to the project will greatly help early stage project to grow, because it gives the teams, the projects, a greater chance of taking their projects to the next level. And it's actually not just the donation that you can help. Maybe a retweet on the Twitter about the progress of their projects, promote it to your community. That also helps. So the donation is one small part of how you can help those BSC early stage projects to grow at their very early stage. And in our past experience, we don't require or we don't push all the projects to give back to their early curators. But first, by donating to their projects, you can have the most timely updates about the projects, because you definitely care more about their future success. So you will stay tuned for their most early updates. And by doing that, a lot of times you can have many chances to find ways to become their early supporters and actually gain early rewards. And for a lot of times, we can see a lot of really, really good teams and projects give back to their early supporter and curators in many ways. A lot of the ways that we see is that they will airdrop a certain portion of their community tokens or other pool of incentive back to their early curators. So we don't encourage you to think of this way as a very certain investment into those projects, because there are many other ways to participate, maybe for their token launch, etc. after. But first, I think it will be a great chance to deeply engage with their projects, deeply engage with supporting the open source market, participating in the curation of open source ventures. And if those projects really go forward, become a successful project, I think there's a huge chance for them to give back to their early supporters. Nothing is guaranteed. It all depends on the participating teams, but we've seen a lot of great synergies between those early supporters and the project themselves. Yeah.
Great. Thank you so much for that, Steve. I think that definitely, clarifies it a little bit. So after Wilson, I think you can take Esther's question next. But this is just a reminder, once again, Emmanuel, if you could please just drop that Telegram link in the chat and on screen as well. Make sure you join the official Binance Africa Telegram group, because any questions that you have, any updates will all be made there. So make sure you join the group. And then I think let's take the last question from the audience, from Esther.
Okay, so Esther is asking, we have among our team someone from Brazil. Does that mean you cannot join in building our project? Brazil, of course, is not in Africa, but they have someone from their team who is from Brazil. So is it possible for that person to join in building the project? Steve, do you have that?
I think Babs can answer this.
I think Babs will answer that one.
Yeah, I think in as much as a majority of the team members are African, then that's fine. It's very core team members.
Great. So thank you so much for a lot of insightful questions. Hopefully, a lot of other people had those questions and they were answered. But I will say once again, if your questions weren't answered, the Telegram group is the place to go. It's the official Africa Hackathon group. And pretty much everybody on screen right now, you'll be able to reach in that group. So make sure you join. Anything you need, updates on those amazing workshops we have lined up will be there. But as if today wasn't a star-studded day enough, next up, we are very privileged to have with us someone from the Binance NFT team. So Jan will be joining us from the Binance NFT team to just give us a few updates on what's going on with this exciting announcement you heard recently about the Binance NFT marketplace. And also, they will be announcing a very special NFT giveaway directly from the Binance NFT team.
Hello, everyone. Hello. Nice to meet you guys. Yeah, I'm going to share the exciting news that Binance is going to officially launch its NFT marketplace on 24th June. And for this platform, we're aiming to create like diversified, secure, and inclusive NFT marketplace for the global visitors. And we have 3 product lines for this marketplace. Firstly is the events. So we're going to feature each event with a special topic, and we're going to feature like one or multiple artists or artworks. And secondly, we have marketplace. It's like we are providing the peer-to-peer marketplace for directly to building the bridge between creators and buyers. So it's like soon we have like few famous Africa creators join us for the marketplace. And secondly, we have and thirdly we have the mystery box. So each one will pay like little price to get a full box of surprise by this category. So after that, we will have like we are going to open it to the global too. So for the marketplace, like firstly, it's invite only. After 1 month, it will be open to public. And also for this Africa Hackathon, we have the 9 NFT as giveaway to all the winners. So stay tuned for that. Thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much for those updates, Jan. Very, very exciting. And who knows, if you win that NFT, you might be able to list it on the marketplace and raise some funds for your project. So very exciting news. Remember, although DeFi is one of the core pillars that we want to build on in this hackathon, so is NFTs. So keep an eye out for that. In fact, the Binance NFT team will be back for one of those workshops like I mentioned. So thank you so much for the updates, Jan. We are very, very excited about that launch. So 24th of June, the Binance NFT marketplace will be launching. So unfortunately, we've come to the end of today's opening ceremony. Wilson, I don't know about you, but I can't take this amount of good news. I mean, it was just absolutely exciting. I mean, we had stars from across the blockchain sector with us today. How exciting was that?
It was pretty exciting. It was pretty exciting. Very, very exciting. We're looking forward to seeing developers build projects that would solve problems in Africa. Yeah, so we're really looking forward to seeing all of those come live.
Exactly. And, thank you for bringing that up, Wilson. So on the African heroes category that we mentioned, we're looking for things that really solve on-the-ground problems that us as Africans experience on a daily basis. So things like credit, loans, savings, insurance, identity verification, voting. These things have direct applications for us here in Africa. So those are the sort of projects we're looking for in the African heroes category. But alas, like I said, we've come to that part of the day where we've got to close the opening ceremony. But remember, the opening ceremony is just the start of this amazing 4-week program.
Yeah.
So, Wilson, I think all of the developers online will not be getting much sleep over the next 4 weeks. And for those of you who aren't developing, you should be booking your calendar out for those workshops every day. So apart from the amazing access to top tier team members, apart from the amazing knowledge that you'll gain from these workshops, we all know that Binance is never complete, or Binance events are never complete without some giveaways. So keep an eye out for those workshops. No spoilers, but you are going to want to make sure that you are there. So a reminder, kick off tomorrow, and our first workshop is at 12 noon GMT +1, and it is with Auto Farm, the one-stop DeFi hub. Any last words from you, Wilson?
What I want to say is I'm very glad and excited about this program. For Bundle, we are looking forward to seeing, just like you mentioned, teams will build projects that will solve problems in Africa. That's what we're looking forward to seeing from Bundle, just so you can qualify for the Heroes Prize Award. And just like you mentioned, projects that will cover loan and credits, savings, identity, insurance, voting, things that actually are applicable in Africa. We're looking for project that solves those kinds of problems. So that's actually all for me and for Bundle. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Great. So with that, we're going to wrap up the first day of an exciting 21-day program, including today, of course. So we'd just like to give a final thank you to all of the amazing speakers who joined us today. We really had a star-studded lineup with us. And, you know, from Bundle and Binance, myself and Wilson, we cannot wait to see you tomorrow and the rest of the week. So go out there, plan your projects, and it's on. The hackathon has officially opened.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Cheers, everyone.